Breaking news out of Washington. It's now been over 24 hours since Tacogate, and Trump has yet to rage post. Not only that, but Caroline Leavitt has yet to respond. The silence is deafening. I'll tell you who has responded, though. The reporter herself, Megan Cassella, and her response tells you everything you need to know about the mainstream media. Of course it does. On the one hand, it's like she won the lottery. It's been over 100 days since Donald Trump was installed as president. That makes 4 years and over 100 days of waiting for corporate media to do what any reasonably intelligent person should be able to do: take down Trump and expose him for the mental midget that he is. But make no mistake about it, Megan Cassella did not bring down Trump by luck. She brought him down by rhetorical skill. If you haven't seen the footage yet, take a look at this. If you have seen this, sit back and have another laugh before I show what Cassella has to say about the aftermath.
Wall Street analysts have coined a new term called the taco trade. They're saying Trump always chickens out on your tariff threats, and that's why markets are higher this week. What's your response to that?
I kick out?
Chicken out.
Oh, isn't that nice? Chicken out. I've never heard that. You mean because I reduced China from 145% that I set down to 100 and then down to another number? And I said you have to open up your whole country, and because I gave the European Union a 50% tax tariff, and they called up and they said, please, let's meet right now. Please, let's meet right now. And I said, okay, I'll give you till July 9. I actually asked them, I said, what's the date? Because they weren't willing to meet. And after I did what I did, they said, we'll meet anytime you want. And we have an end date of July 9th. You call that chickening out? Because we have $14 trillion now invested, committed to investing when Biden didn't have practically anything. 6 months ago, this country was stone cold dead. We had a dead country. We had a country people didn't think it was going to survive, and you ask a nasty question like that. It's called negotiation. You set a number.
And there's the technique I have been screaming for as long as I've been on this channel. Reporters can't just directly confront Trump and think they are going to somehow take him down. I'll give credit to Caitlin Collins for bravely not backing down from that approach. But at some point, when it does not achieve the goal, you have to switch strategies. And that's exactly what Megan Cassella did. In many ways, she used a favorite rhetorical strategy of the right wing. Her question was a variation of, some people say. Only when right-wing media and politicians use that rhetorical device, the some people are fictitious, as is what they are saying. What Cassella did was use a real group of people who really are saying that Trump is a taco. Trump always chickens out. And the beauty of it is, you can't even remotely call what Cassella did a dirty trick. Trump, of course, tried by calling the question nasty. Well, that nasty question asker, Megan Cassella, was asked about what happened yesterday, and you're going to want to hear what she had to say and the follow-up. Listen.
But don't ever say what you said. That's a nasty question. Go ahead. To me, that's the nastiest question.
Megan, a lot of people probably wonder what it was like posing that question to the president.
Carl, it's something that has gone a lot further than I think I, in the moment, really expected. To me, this was something that had been making the rounds on Wall Street a little bit, been written up in the Journal, the Times. And so it felt like it was a chance to ask the president about it directly and to give him a chance really to defend this strategy, asking, what were these analysts missing when they were saying that Trump was chickening out on this? We've heard him use the nasty question moniker before, not something I was going for when I asked this question, but it did sort of touch on this sort of broader question. Has the president been bluffing too much? And now with this court ruling, we do have to wonder what that means for the president's leverage. He was saying there that all of these tariffs have been foremost, I would say, about generating leverage and making sure countries are coming to the table and offering something. And now with this ruling, if the tariffs are no longer, if he doesn't have the authority to impose them, are countries continuing, will they continue to be willing to offer things? That's what we have to wait and see at this point.
Yeah, and Megan, you've done such a great job for us, obviously, covering all these different aspects of trade, as difficult as they might be, and all the numbers associated with them. We've been positing the idea this morning that this simply creates more uncertainty Because, again, we're just not sure on the road. Would you agree with that as at least an early conclusion here in terms of this court ruling?
So, okay, now it's not a huge surprise that Casella was self-effacing. I mean, for crying out loud, she's a financial reporter. And after an overstuffed ego like Jake Tapper, it's actually refreshing to hear a David say, well, I wasn't really trying to kill Goliath per se. I just wanted to see if I still had good aim. So she moved on quickly from the question before she's the most attacked journalist in the country. And there's still strong potential for that. The host of the show, however, had a responsibility to take the victory lap for her. None of the mainstream media have landed a direct punch on Trump, but a reporter for the financial beat did. But they ran away from this for a reason. They know what happened to ABC. They know what's happening with CBS, and they don't want that level of retaliation. And that's corporate media in a nutshell, acquiescing in advance. The only thing that can make this story better is for round 3. Trump rage posting or Caroline Leavitt trying to say something. On the one hand, I think Caroline is going to shy away from doing that because the inevitable comparison will be made, and Caroline Leavitt is not even remotely in the same league with Megan Casella, who frequently uses correct grammar. On the other hand, when you're as dim-witted as Caroline Leavitt and life gets handed to you on a silver platter, it's way too difficult to see you have little to no talent. That's exactly Trump's story, too. Reporting from Rome, I'm Anthony Vincent Gallo for Occupy Democrats.